AAPL. AAPL.
Drug. RANI.
AAPL. Hoth. WISA. AAPL. Hoth. 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 Hoth.
Eric. OKLO. OKLO.
Googsol.
AAPL. AAPL.
HOTH, Heart Therapeutics, was awarded a
BNZI.
US patent for Alzheimer's treatment. That's
BNZI.
HOTH.
BNZI. 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 MVIS.
MSFT.
BNZI. BNZI.
CCL.
BNZI. BNZI.
Most people have no clue that in 2023, the best way to make money
Eric.
on Amazon is not.
Eric.
BNZI. 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 Wolf. DJT.
BAC, Bank of America, Q3 provision for credit losses of $1.5 billion, the estimate $1.52 billion. Earnings of 81 cents for BAC. The estimate was 77 cents.
MSFT.
Shares of Bank of America now at 41.69, trading down slightly. Revenue of $25.3 billion in Bank of America. The estimate was 25.287 billion.
Wolf.
So that's about in line.
BNZI. BNZI.
That's Bravo Alpha Charlie. MVIS Microvision now with their Q3 preliminary results. Michael Victor
MSFT.
India Sandy.
JNJ. Watch the spread.
Sees Q3 revenue of $150,000 to $200,000. That's
Drug.
MVIS Michael Victor India Sandy.
MSFT.
Drug. Drug.
Knock.
We are so back, and
MSFT.
OKLO.
QUBT.
I'm not just talking about the market. I finally got my power back after the hurricane, and now I have Wi-Fi. So let's get to it. The market continues higher,
Eric.
continues higher.
BA
and
Boeing
tech stocks are
filed for
very near
mid-shelf
their
up
all-time
to
highs now.
$25 billion.
Finally, I
That's
talked about my
Bravo
Nasdaq
Alpha.
long position before open today that I took a couple weeks ago, stating that
RANI.
MSFT.
yields continue higher, the dollar continues higher, and tech stocks continue higher as well. The idea being that generally they shouldn't be, the correlations should be bringing them down, they aren't, and therefore I think that's a good sign. We ended up rallying about 200 points into the end of the day, so I thought it was fine to cover that, or at least half of that. Under the guise, as I said,
MSFT.
that things are getting very extended. Things like the Fear and Greed Index getting to extreme greed, the put-call ratio remaining exceedingly low, and stock versus bond performance getting outsized as well. So while I think it continues to act very well, and perhaps does continue on a fantastic march higher, I think it's very likely that at this point we'll get some selling. Whether it be simply on overextension, though I think the more likely case is that we are overconfident in a soft landing at this point, and we are going to get another growth scare, which leads me to like bonds more. Bonds are obviously generally a lot trickier than the short end of the curve. We sort of know that the 2-year is going lower, but that's also directly priced in via the futures market. Though in this case, markets are expecting a generally pretty tight spread at this point between where we are now and where we will be at the end of 2025. But in either case, we're still pricing in significant decline in short end yields. whereas in the 30-year yield, that isn't as much the case. However,
BAC.
we also have the issue that these yields don't necessarily have to be correlated, and the 30-year can remain stubbornly high despite a significantly
PHUN.
lower short end, as we saw in 2009 when the 2-year dropped below 1% and the 30-year remained above current levels, even going into 2010, in which the 2-year yield dropped below 50 basis points and the 30-year yield again remained above current levels. Worth noting is that this occurred prior to the Fed mandate of 2%. The 2% target was established in 2012, and that specific inflation target
BAC.
wasn't around
Wolf.
until then, and many are.
Wolf. AGBA.
Gooksal.
Wolf. 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 BNZI. OKLO.
MSFT.
Drug.
MSFT.
Drug.
Dow.
Coming up at 7, Walgreens Boots. Expecting
Hoth.
36 cents adjusted earnings.
Hoth.
HOTH, Hoth, hitting new highs now at
MSFT.
$1.08 on Alzheimer's related
AMZN.
patent news. That's HOTH.
RANI.
MSFT,
OKLO. OKLO. DJT. DJT. JNJ. Big spread. DJT. Hoth. Hoth.
Hoth,
BNZI. BNZI. Wolf. Wolf.
Letter R, writer, announcing new share buyback program. Up to 2 million
BNZI.
shares of common stock. That's letter R.
BNZI. Wolf. 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 DJT.
Eric,
Hoth. Hoth. Hoth.
At Signable, Slack integrates with our help support
DJT.
system, meaning that support tickets that come in, everybody has visibility of those. We can use the
BAC.
hive mind to get an answer.
BAC. BAC. DJT. DJT. BNZI. 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 BNZI.
WBA,
BNZI.
SD, WBA, WBA,
BNZI. BNZI.
WBA Walgreens Boots reported 39 cents.
Hoth,
The estimate was 36 cents.
Hoth,
Sales of 37.55 billion. The estimate was
Hoth.
35.75 billion. So that's a beat.
WBA,
For Whiskey
WBA,
Bravo Alpha.
WBA, WBA, WBA,
Sees full year adjusted
WBA.
earnings of $1.40 to
WBA,
$1.80. Full year 2025
WBA,
sales of
WBA,
147 billion to 151 billion.
WBA, WBA, WBA,
That's
WBA,
WBA.
WBA,
WBA.
WBA, WBA,
Walgreens targeting about 1,200 store closings in the next
WBA.
3 years.
WBA, WBA,
WBA.
VERB,
BNZI.
That's
BNZI.
WBA. Walgreens
VERB, VERB,
VERB.
shares popping now $9.60. That's up 60 cents. That's Whiskey
BNZI.
Bravo Alpha.
BNZI. 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 BNZI.
BNZI, BNZI, BNZI,
BNZI. BNZI.
BNZI,
IRDM, Iridium Space Development
DJT.
Agency award
BNZI.
continues Iridium's commercial innovation delivery strategy for government. Company announced the
WBA.
General Dynamics Mission Systems and Iridium team $491.6
Roll.
million contract modification.
Wolf.
That's IRDM. GILT Gilat secures about $15 million in orders
PHUN.
from leading satellite
BNZI.
operators for GEO, MEO, and LEO constellations. That's Golf India
WBA.
Lima Tango.
Drug. Yang.
PFE Isomab announcing nomination of
Verb.
development candidate for
Big
peripheral
spread.
arterial disease and strategic collaboration with Pfizer.
BNZI.
Papa Foxtrot Echo.
BNZI. BNZI.
MEG Montrose Environmental
BNZI.
Group selected
BNZI.
for $240 million U.S. Army Corps of
BNZI.
Engineers Environmental Services contract.
AAL,
That's Michael
BNZI.
Echo Golf.
BNZI.
WBA, Dow,
BNZI.
Dow, WBA, 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 WBA,
ATN.
WBA, WBA, WBA,
Advent Technologies reporting
WBA.
Dow,
a loss of $3.62 per share for Q1.
WBA, WBA,
WBA.
Dow,
Dow.
BNZI, 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 Dow,
BNZI.
No
BNZI.
estimate on ADN. That's Alpha Delta November.
RANI.
MGTX, Mirror GTX, announcing data from randomized sham control clinical bridging study of
Drug.
AVGAD to treat Parkinson's disease. That's Michael Golf Tango X-ray.
HOP.
Said primary
ADTX.
study objective and safety and tolerability was met.
BTBT.
That's MGTX. Shares getting a pop on that on light volume.
Wolf. Wolf.
CYN,
RANI. BNZI. Drug. RANI.
STT,
CYN.
State Street reported $2.26. The estimate was $2.12. That's Sandy Tango, sales of $3.26 billion. The
BTBT.
estimate $3.19
BTBT.
billion. That's a beat for State Street.
BTBT.
STT,
CCL,
company CFO to depart following a transition period for a new position. That's STT.
BTBT. DJT.
Coming up at 7:30,
DJT.
earnings from GS Goldman Sachs.
BNZI. DJT. BNZI. 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 BNZI.
SOTK,
WBA.
Dow,
BNZI. Wolf. WBA. WBA. DJT. DJT.
CCL,
BNZI. CCL. BNZI. BNZI. BNZI.
CCL, BTBT, BTBT,
WBA. NVDQ.
The
Dow.
NFL season is here. Get NFL Sunday
WBA.
Ticket and YouTube TV and watch every game every Sunday, all in one place.
WBA. BNZI. WBA. BNZI. WBA. WBA. WBA.
CCL,
BNZI. WBA. BNZI. BNZI. TZA. BNZI.
Dow,
WBA. 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 BNZI. WBA. BNZI. DJT. Drug. 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 WBA.
Argue that this does change
Aaron.
the argument on long-end bonds and suggest that perhaps
LCID.
comparing this
WBA.
situation now to what it was prior to that
ABS.
ruling is a difficult task. As we saw following 2012, bonds continued into
BNZI.
ever uptrend onto lower lows. So if we are now due for economic
BNZI.
correction and then another growth scare, bonds may react more than they did in those cycles. And even in disagreement with that idea, I think there's perhaps a lot to be said about the fact that we are now at very significant support in the
BNZI.
bond market in terms of volume, and that the risk here and the idea here is simply that we are now in an uptrend for whatever reason other than we are simply in one, and that you only have to risk a moderate amount to attempt to hold your position far higher for a very positive risk-reward ratio. And so if nothing else, on a thesis perspective, if only based on this, it still seems like a rather reasonable idea. And some people argue that, yes, this is just an ETF, it does not represent the whole market, but you look at other things like bond futures and other duration futures, it's all about the same. So I think you can reasonably assume that that also applies
PTON.
to the real and
BNZI.
secondary bond markets that we don't chart. The only downside to this idea, obviously, is that
BNZI.
we are picking low for the most part, at least in terms of this recent move. But in zooming out, we've established general higher highs and higher lows. And I think you have a few reasons from a technicals perspective that suggest
BNZI.
it's perhaps worth trying. But certainly if you think that the unemployment rate is going to
BNZI.
continue trending higher, then you perhaps have many reasons to like that idea.
BNZI.
Another thing worth mentioning is that as the inflation rate has gone down, it appears as though the relationship between stocks and bonds has largely flipped. As we saw in 2022 and in 2023, when inflation was still high, they had a generally positive relationship. But as CPI
Drug.
continued lower, that relationship began to flip. And we can see it here, where stocks rallied, bonds declined, and now more recently, significant declines in stocks were met with significant rallies in bonds, and now again with an inversion. So perhaps if we are to assume extraordinary overextension in equities, or at least some
BNZI.
overextension, then that will perhaps help us like bonds as well.
BNZI.
And it's worth mentioning that we got another incredibly bullish survey. While we didn't crack 50% this time, this was the lowest bearish reading we've had in a
WBA.
very long time. And when we all tend to increase risk,
Drug.
we obviously have less of a bias towards bonds. So there are a lot of things that
Drug.
can return and give us bullish
WBA.
action on bonds. If people become more pessimistic, soft landing thesis perhaps becomes weary with a growth scare, or even simply we start to realize that perhaps yields are too high given inflation. There are a lot of things that can move in your favor, and given the volume profile as I've shown, the risk reward on that idea can become quite high, at least in my opinion. And I think it's nice that this week's special question on the survey was, which factor is most influencing your 6-month outlook for stocks? And the main answer is the economy and inflation. And the second highest answer is
Coming up
interest
at
rates.
7:30,
Those are what
Goldman
people are
Sachs
thinking about right now.
expecting
That's what's
$7.03
driving the narratives.
adjusted.
Moving
Golf
back to
Sandy.
this, my general goal
DJT.
is
Market update,
to
S&P
look to
futures
buy
down
dips
1, the
in
Dow
both of these
futures down
potential
29,
uptrends in bonds
Nasdaq
and
down
stocks.
12.
Because if you do
Crude
enter
is
back into a
down
low inflation environment where bonds are inverse
at
to stocks,
$70.51.
you get to a situation where generally
Gold is
you
up
can have a lower beta
$3.40 at
and be long two uptrends
26.69.
that
Bitcoin
counteract each other.
futures down 505 at 65,640.
BNZI.
Dips. It won't be perfect, but obviously those types of situations are very good to take advantage of, and that potential seems to
RANI.
be setting in. That's a lot on
BITI.
stocks. Moving back onto commodity markets, I'd like to talk about silver again. And if you'll recall,
Yang.
I covered on this day over here and was up
PHUN. Dow. WBA. BNZI. 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 PTON. DJT. SCO. JNJ. Big spread. DJT. WBA. BAC. BNZI.
AAPL.
Wolf. MSTR. Watch the spread.
AAPL.
Yang. Drug. MSTR. Big spread. MSTR. Big spread. BNZI. BNZI. BNZI.
AAPL. JDZG.
HOF.
AAPL.
ADTX.
Set that I
BNZI.
had exited, and thankfully we got 2 significant down days off the high close,
BNZI.
and it allowed me to re-enter at a similar enough price. And now we have
ADTX.
since moved higher.
BNZI.
It's a general rule of mine to buy or sell something if there are 2 significant days against the trend. This is what we got in silver on these 2 days, which gave a great long opportunity, at least so far, and a good risk-reward ratio, because now I think it's pretty simple to be long above 30
AAPL.
and out below. This was also the same reason I got back into China. We covered at the first point of resistance
Drug.
over here, very near to the
WBA.
high, and you then had 2 significant down days against the trend, which I used to get back in a larger portion of my position, though not all of it. I'd like to still have ammo to buy it
DJT.
if it continues further, but I like this idea. I still think Chinese stocks are going to all-time highs, and I thought this was a good time to get back in. Going back to metals, another reason to perhaps like silver is that it has
Wolf.
been acting relatively strong recently.
At Granger, we're for
Copper
the
has
ones who
not
pay
been doing
attention
well.
to every little detail. The ones who fuss, tinker, and sweat the small stuff.
DJT.
Neither has palladium, platinum, though it has done better today,
BNZI.
or even gold, at least today, though it is still without a doubt the leader of the move. And I think it's a pretty simple
AAPL.
situation of, this is the breakout, we've retested it twice, and now, if it's true,
BNZI.
we are in a simple consolidation following this new breakout, and we will remain on our journey
BNZI.
to I would say 42 or so, and I still like that idea. And I'm happy
BNZI.
that I have been able to
Whoa.
get back
APL.
into it at a similar price. On to other markets, it is unfortunate to see that
RANI.
soybeans have declined significantly. We rode the rally up, we got in cheaper, but
OKLO.
it does look like it is going to fail and that it will get stopped out soon. It will likely end up being a net-net trade, but it still hurts to see. Wheat, on the other hand, has been a bit better, and we did the same thing getting out on these 2 days of breakout and buying back on the 2 down following the
BABX.
breakout, but it is now a negative on that position, and unfortunate to see as well, though we are still in this one, and soybeans too, but very close to those new lows, in which case I will be stopped out. Similarly is cotton, still some room left, but again, not acting great. A good chance that it now will not work out, and it is what it is. Largely low risk on most of these positions, and moves that allowed me to move my stop up higher to mitigate some risk in the first place, so it is what it is. Lastly, there are the softs. My only position here is in coffee spreads. I think coffee continues
BAC.
to look very well. I think that if it does break out onto significant all-time highs, spreads will tighten significantly, and spreads like December 2024 minus March 2025 have a lot of upside, if not alone just going up to $4, which is a pretty good risk-reward ratio for recent lows. But obviously, if there is an actual shortage squeeze, it would likely go beyond that. But for now, not a greatly high conviction trade, just one that has a good reward ratio.
DJT.
In commodities, I don't think there's too much to talk about other than that. A lot of the pressure is coming from a rising dollar, which applies downward pressures to commodities
BNZI.
priced in dollars, of course. And despite this, I will say the
SMR.
metals again have held
BNZI.
up very well. Despite that, silver rather close to its highs and gold rather close to its highs. I would consider that a good sign. I don't have a great deal else to talk about. I've said for a while that I hope that the market continues higher and that the VIX declines. And we
GS
have
Goldman
seen the market
Sachs
continue
reporting
higher, and today we start to
$8.40.
see the
Golf
VIX decline a
Sandy,
little bit,
GS.
so not to anywhere that I would find reasonable buying it. I don't see much of a trade here. I still think it's probably worth being long some tech, as I am, but in general, it's become a harder to navigate environment because we've moved up so quickly, and
The
most
estimate on
indicators
Goldman
appear
Sachs
very
was
stressed at this point.
$7.03.
So the good trades seem gone
$6.86
already,
gap
and it's worth
on
just waiting for something new.
GS.
The only thing I will say is that I still think
WBA.
Tesla's going lower. You see the
Revenue
market
of
go higher, higher,
12.7
higher
billion.
again and
The
again.
estimate was
Tesla continues to
11.77
fail,
billion.
though I don't really
For
care
Golf
enough to bet
Sandy.
against it. Only really enough to say that and leave it at that. I don't think there's a great deal more to talk about. Most specific markets seem rather
NVDQ.
choppy, and aside from bonds
Eric.
being at a potential low with a worthy position, I don't think that there is much else with a fantastic ratio or something really worth putting a lot of mental
Wolf.
capacity into at this point. I like this idea. I think you reasonably have to risk a moderate amount to bet on it, and otherwise, that's about it. Like, subscribe, that's all.
Your future is at your fingertips. Take advantage of the flexibility and diversity of futures.
Goldman shares hitting $535, up $12.25.
Drug.
That's GS.
BNZI. 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 Drug. DJT. BNZI. RANI. MSTR. Drug.
C.
RANI.
OCEA.
BAC. XLF. MSTR. Watch the spread. MSTR. Big spread. RANI.
C. INVO.
At Signable, Slack integrates with our help support system
INVO.
that support tickets that come in. Everybody has visibility of those. We can use the hive mind to get an answer quickly.
INVO. DJT. INVO.
C. BOF. C. INVO.
INVO. INVO.
WHF Whitehorse
DJT.
Financial announcing special distribution of 24.5 cents per share. Whiskey Hotel Foxtrot.
DJT. BNZI. BNZI.
UEC.
INVO. INVO. Drug.
C.
ZENA, Xenotech,
BNZI.
announcing first U.S. trial of Xenodrone IQ nano
PXLW,
drone for inventory management by U.S.
Pixie.
auto parts manufacturer. That is ZENA.
Pixie.
WBA.
CI Cigna announcing 2025 marketplace plans. That's Charlie India.
SCHW. Snap. SCHW.
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 WBA.
AAPL.
Eric.
AAPL. 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 AAPL.
PIXY. Watch the spread.
Pixie. 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 Pixie.
PIXY. Big spread. PIXY. Big spread. PIXY,
UEC,
PIXY,
AAPL,
Wolf, Wolf, BNZI,
AAPL, RELX, SCHW,
BNZI,
SCHW,
BNZI,
UEC,
PIXY, Big Spread, BNZI, BNZI, BNZI,
SCHW, SCHW, C,
SCHW,
C, SCHW,
SCHW,
SCHW, SCHW, C, C, SCHW, SCHW,
SCHW,
TSLA,
Wolf,
Wave,
BAC, RANI,
BABX, C,
BAC,
CVM,
BNZI, BNZI,
Wave, SCHW,
BNZI,
SCHW, 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 BABX, SCHW, SCHW, SCHW,
Wolf,
SCHW, 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 SCHW,
SCHW, Big Spread,
SCHW,
SCHW,
TSLA, 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 SCHW, TSLA, TSLT, SCHW, TSLA,
SCHW.
TSLA,
Big spread.
TSLA, KDLY,
SCHW.
TSLA, C, TSLA, TSLA, TSLA,
TSLL.
TSLA, TSLA, SCHW, TSLA, TSLA, TSLA,
TSLL.
TSLA, TSLA,
SCHW.
AAPL, SCHW, SCHW,
SCHW.
SCHW, SCHW,
SCHW.
SCHW, SCHW,
SCHW.
SCHW,
SCHW. BAC.
SCHW,
SCHW.
AAPL, AAPL,
XLF.
AAPL, OGI,
BNZI. SCHW.
AAPL,
BNZI.
SCHW,
The YouTube Music app has the power to sense what you like from the moment you open the app. It's almost like
AAPL,
read your mind.
AAPL,
That's what I was going to say. Get
AAPL,
YouTube Music Premium. Try 1 month free.
CCL, RELX, SCHW,
WBA.
AAPL,
BNZI. BNZI.
CCL, AAPL, AAPL,
TSLL. BNZI. TSLL. TSLL.
BABX,
We are so back, and I'm not
TSLL, TSLL.
We are so back.
AAPL. 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 TSLA. TSLA.
TSLL.
TSLA. 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 TSLT. Eric. TSLR.
BNZI.
SCHW. SCHW. TSLA. SCHW. SCHW.
SCHW.
BABX.
BNZI.
SCHW. Baba. TSLA.
SCHW. PIXY.
Day before. The truth is,
Hey guys, welcome to another Stratucation Saturday video. This week, you guys decided you wanted me to talk about what are the 1, 2, and 3 bars of the strat and what do they mean. And once you know what they mean, then you can use the strat combo sheet
off the highs now,
to
540.50.
plan your trades around these setups.
Buying there,
Okay.
Golf Sandy.
So,
Baba.
CPTA, penny stock,
let's
up about 100%
get
now.
into
Jewel Papa Tango Alpha.
the indicator. So the indicator that I'm using on TradingView is this one. This is Candle Type the Strat by Crinklevine. The thing is, the indicator is not so important. What is important is that you know what the 1, 2, and 3 mean. First things first, there is only 3 things that can happen from one candle to the next. When we are talking about the candles, we are always talking about the way it looks compared to its previous candle. So it's kind of like reading. So we're going left to right and labeling it that way. All right, so a 1 is an inside candle, which means this candle, the whole candle, wick to wick, is completely inside the range of its previous candle. When you see a 1, that means it's consolidation, it's a tightening range on a smaller time frame. We do not want to trade things when they are a 1. So when this day opens, unless you break the high or low of this day, you really don't want to be trading a 1 because you're just going to get chopped up because it hasn't picked its direction. Then I like to talk about 3s next because 3s are the opposite of a 1. 3s take out both sides of the previous range. So here's the lines. So here's the previous candle. So a 3 takes out the top side of the previous candle and the bottom side of the previous candle. Most commonly, 3s occur after 1s because the range is usually so small in a 1. Little fun fact for you. Okay, so we know that a 1 is an inside bar, a 2 is an outside bar, or some people like to call them engulfing bars. 2s are directional bars, so we don't refer to them in color. So a lot of people get that confused. We only care about the direction. So this candle here broke the previous candle's low. So this would be considered a 2 down. Okay. then this candle
TSLL.
would be considered a 2 up because it broke the previous candle's high. The color of the 2 doesn't matter. It is the direction. We care about the direction. So let's look at Bitcoin right here. This is a beautiful example. So we have a 2 up, and we know that a 2 up is directional, so we would want it to be green, but it's not. So this
BNZI.
2 up means that it's in conflict. We broke the previous day's high, but we couldn't go anywhere. And the bears stepped in and started selling it down.
Coming up, earnings from
This
letter
AI
C,
Trade Finder
Citigroup
will
expecting
handpick you options
$1.30.
trades every morning on autopilot. Hi.
If you go to
SQ,
the strat combo sheet, okay, you see right here on the far right side of the screen, there is a 2-2 reversal
Ronnie.
bullish and a 2-2 reversal bearish.
Wolf.
So when we go back to this Bitcoin chart in a second, we're going to be looking at
Wolf.
the 2-2 reversal bearish. But notice how this
Wolf.
candle is green. Who cares? It's a 2 up. Okay, so the trade is to enter when this candle
Wolf.
opens and takes out the previous candle's low.
SQ,
I don't think you guys can see my mouse when I'm on
Wolf.
this image, so that kind of sucks. Okay, so here's the trade. So we have a 2 up. So the short entry is when this
TSLA.
candle opens and we break the previous day's low. Our targets
Ronnie.
are this, this, and this. Obviously, they will keep going down. So this and this would be the next targets. And look, do you see that we took out this pivot here and not quite this one? So maybe we need some corrective activity first.
SQ,
And also, using this strategy, these are all 2s,
LUCD,
and we know what
Lucid
reversals look
Diagnostics,
like.
received
So
notice of
we have had
allowance
no
for key
reversal
patent
against
underlying
us because we have
BITI.
a 2 down, a
test.
2 down, a 2 down, a
That is
2 down. So we have
Lima Uniform Charlie Delta.
a very strong
LUCD.
trend right here because you don't have a higher high on the daily yet.
TSLL.
They might get it today. So if you were
BNZI.
in this trade and using the strat signals, you would have been in it since 39.5, and right now your stop would be here at 36.4. Or if you do
TSLL.
what I preach and take profit at your target, you would have actually
China to hold
taken
press
profit
conference on
at
promoting steady
34.
and healthy
So another almost 2
development of
grand
property
Drug.
sector
instead
on October 17th
of having your
at 10
stop up
a.m.
here.
Beijing
Or you could
time.
take
That's,
half profit
Drug.
and then put
Wolf.
the other half stop up here. Let's look at
Headline now.
Bitcoin on
AG,
the monthly, actually, just for fun. So this was a 2 down month, and then when this candle opened and took out the
SQ.
previous month's high, that's the strat entry to go long. It's a 2-2 reversal. Then you've had
AG,
higher lows, you've had 2 ups the whole time.
BNZI.
Here, 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 here.
SQ, SQ,
Okay, and knowing what
Drug.
we know, and I just showed you on the daily time frame, this is the same
NCLH.
setup. So it's a 2 up, and this is the monthly. The M is monthly. So it's a 2 up, but it's red. So if you were long, and if you were hodling from down here, based on the monthly chart and the strat signals
Cool.
alone, you would have wanted to get out of your long at 4,700. And then all these
BAC,
higher
Bank of
lows,
America
then
CFO
on the way
says
down, become
Deal
our
Pipelines
targets.
remain very good at this point. We feel very good about
Something
investment
else that's
banking.
really interesting is the time of the flip.
That's BAC.
If you're not a profitable trader, after 8 weeks of using this exact indicator, I will personally hand you $7,000.
On the 3-month chart, if you don't know what the flip is, I made a video about it. Okay. Now,
NVD.
the thing about 3s, so outside bars, these things,
Ronnie.
is they always start as a directional 2. So, for instance, Bitcoin opened and went 2 up. But once it started coming back through and changing continuity from green to red, that's a bad sign. And the thing about 3s is they are failed 2s. And we all know I have a 50% rule. So once the next bar has retraced 50% or more of its previous candle, it then has the possibility of becoming an outside bar. And why do we care about that? We care about that because we know that we know what our target is. For this 3-month chart to become an outside bar, your target is going to be 27,734. Bitcoin has about 11 days left in this candle to do it. So it's definitely possible. Okay, we're going to go back to the daily time frame. Do you
AAPL.
Wolf.
Wolf.
Wolf. Wolf.
Wolf.
Wolf. Wolf.
Coming up, earnings from letter C, Citigroup expecting $1.30.
CCL.
WOLF, Wolfspeed, shares hitting now $14.75 at the highs now after that $750 million award
SQ.
announced by the Department of Commerce earlier.
Wolf. Wolf.
Wolf.
1480 now on WOLF.
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 Wolf. Wolf. Wolf. C.
Wolf.
SQ. SQ. CCL. Wolf.
Wolf.
Wolf. C. C. C.
Wolf.
C. Wolf. 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 Wolf.
Wolfspeed shares now spiking here, $15.37. Whiskey Oscar Lima Foxtrot.
BNZI. BNZI.
Citigroup with
LIPO.
results. Citigroup reporting.
Wolf.
Wolf.
GCOM. TSM. TLA. CCL. NZI. ANBS. BP. HNST. MUX. WMT. HLBX.
Wolf.
Revenue of 20.139.
BNZI.
Correction on that. Revenue of
BNZI.
$20.315 billion for letter C. The estimate was $19.839 billion. $1.51. The estimate
BNZI.
was $1.31 for letter C.
Apollo. C.
Citigroup says we will continue to determine the
C.
level of buybacks
Big
on
spread.
a quarter-by-quarter basis. Wind downs ahead of schedule in Korea, China, and Russia. On track to meet our expense and revenue targets for the year.
QQQ. UEC.
TZA.
Says look to close out 2024 with momentum as we prepare for 2025.
BNZI.
Shares of Citigroup
AAPL.
off the highs now at $66.95, up 94 cents.
SCHW. AAPL. AAPL. AA.
That's letter C.
Soapy. Wolf. OKLO.
ANBS.
OKLO.
CCL. CCL. ENVB.
TSLL.
CCL.
OKLO.
MRVL.
Wolf.
SCHW. Pixie.
Wolf. Wolf. WBA.
MRVL. MRVL.
TBGN. RANI.
ANBS. MRVL.
LTH Lifetime out with their preliminary results. Lima Tango Hotel.
ENVB. 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 ENVB.
TBGN.
Total revenue estimated to be $693.2 million. That's up 18.5% over the prior year quarter. That's LTH. Lima Tango Hotel.
ENVB. ENVB. ENVB.
ENVB and VERB Biosciences announcing pharmacology and safety data for lead product EB003.
SCHW.
In vitro pharmacology studies confirm EB003's ability to target desired
SCHW.
serotonic,
SCHW.
receptors, supporting potential of
AMD. PDD.
the neuroplastigenic
LUCD.
therapeutic candidate to address difficult to
CLYM.
treat mental health disorders without inducing hallucinations. That's Echo November Victor Bravo, ENVB.
NCLH. SCHW. 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 CCL. SCHW. SCHW. SCHW.
SCHW.
SCHW.
TBGN. Wolf.
SCHW.
Wolf.
SCHW.
Wolf.
NBR, Neighbors Industries, announcing agreement to acquire Parker Wellbore.
Wolf.
That is November Bravo Romeo, NBR.
Wolf. Wolf.
ANVS. ANVS. ANVS.
SDA, Suncard Technology Group,
Pixie.
expands multi-platform collaboration with ICBC
ENVB.
branch, the Change Free
ENVB.
Benefits
NXL.
platform. That is Sandy Delta
ENVB.
Alpha.
DBGN.
SCHW. ENVB. ENVB. ENVB.
RTX, U.S. Army awards Javelin Joint Venture First Lightweight Command
SCHW.
Launch Unit Full Grade Production Contract. That's Romeo Tango X-Ray. WIMI, Weemy
ANVS.
Hologram, out with their first half results. Whiskey India, Michael India.
ANVS. ANVS.
Wolf.
MRVL.
Total revenues increased by 10% for the 6 months ending
AAPL.
June 30th. That's
DBGI.
WIMI.
AAPL. AAPL. CLYM. NCLH. UAL.
J&J.
Big spread.
SCHW. SCHW. SCHW.
PIXY. Big spread.
Napacalimab demonstrates sustained disease control in adolescents living with
PIXY.
generalized
MRVL.
myasthenia
Big
gravis
spread.
in phase 2-3 study.
LCID.
ANVS.
That's Juliet, November, Juliet, J&J.
PIXY. Big spread.
AAPL.
Amazon and Databricks strike deal,
PIXY.
ANVS.
like
Big
5-year
spread.
deal around AI chips. That is AMZN.
MRVL.
Alpha Michael Zulu, November. That was from the Wall Street
BNZI.
Journal.
ENVB.
BNZI.
ENVB and Veric
BNZI.
Bio shares up about 22 cents now, 63 cents off of that press release from the company. Echo November, Victor Bravo.
BNZI.
MRVL. MRVL.
BNZI.
MRVL. MRVL. ANVS. SCHW. SCHW.
Wolf.
ENVB. ENVB.
Wolf. BNZI.
MRVL.
Wolf. Wolf.
MRM.
Wolf.
MRVL. ANVS. ANVS. Pixie. ANVS. ANVS. MRVL. ANVS.
ANVS. Wolf.
ANVS. ANVS. ANVS.
ANVS.
IMRX.
ANVS. ANVS.
IMRX. ANVS.
ANVS.
IMRX. FYBR. IMRX. IMRX. CCL, CCL,
CCL,
CCL, CCL, wrap,
CCL,
CCL, CUK,
BNZI, DJT,
Dell,
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 AAL,
AAL, Dell,
BNZI, BNZI,
ETV, IMRX, Dell, AAL,
ANVS,
KPRX,
ANVS, BNZI, C,
DSY, IMRX,
IMRX,
DSY, DSY, AAL, AAL, PKX, Googsol, Goog,
ANVS,
Goog, ANVS,
ANVS,
Goog, SES,
Wolf, Eric, TSLL, BNZI, BNZI,
IMRX,
IMRX, IMRX,
IMRX, IMRX,
IMRX,
IMRX,
IMRX,
IMRX, IMRX, IMRX,
IMRX,
Googsol, Goog,
Guys, see this broadening formation right here? So we have a low and a new low, and then we had a high, and now then we got a new high. So
Googsol,
if this stays in this pattern, your target is going to be that, and then 30,000 psychological, basically.
BNZI,
Okay, but anyway.
IMRX,
So threes.
IMRX,
Why are threes interesting? Threes are interesting because
JUNE,
they are
Juni
a
Limited
broadening
subsidiary
formation on a
ASPAC
smaller
AI
time
Computing
frame.
entered strategic agreement with
So
Panay
what you want to
Technology
do,
for advanced AI infrastructure. That's Juliet Uniform November Echo, JUNE.
IMRX.
IMRX. IMRX. IMRX. IMRX.
IMRX.
ATXG. INBS.
HOFV, Hall of Fame Resort, announcing
Wolf.
collaboration with Jumpstart, Hotel Oscar Foxtrot Victor.
Wolf.
MRM.
BNZI. BNZI.
INBS.
BNZI.
IMRX. IMRX.
IMRX.
IMRX. IMRX. IMRX.
IMRX.
IMRX. IMRX.
IMRX shares popping here after the company granted orphan drug designation for IMM 1104 by the FDA to treat pancreatic cancer.
BNZI.
That's IMRX. Now
IMRX.
at $2.58.
IMRX.
IMRX.
Goog. ACLH. AMZN. NCLH. NCLH. AAPL. NCLH. NCLH.
IMRX.
AAPL. 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 VTYX.
BNZI.
Is
Wolf.
connect the previous candle's high to the top of the
Wolf.
3 and the previous candle's low to the bottom of the 3. And then you want to go down to a smaller time frame so you can see the broadening formation. And for some reason, the daily and
Zone.
hourly chart don't quite compute, so you might have to move your lines.
ANVS.
But there it is. So that's why 3s are really interesting on a larger time frame, because like I said, go down to a smaller time frame, you're going to see a broadening formation. The bottom of the broadening formation trend line has been holding, okay? But the thing about broadening formations, they don't stay broadening formations and in this pattern forever. They expand. So that's what's cool about 3s. Once you know what all the numbers mean, then you can go and put this sheet to work.
Gold.
So you know what an inside bar is.
ANVS.
And this sheet shows you exactly your entry, exactly your target. So if you don't use TradingView, it's totally okay. You don't have to,
IMRX.
like I said, you don't have to have the numbers on your chart.
IMRX.
The numbers
SQ,
being there are not
UAL.
important. The fact that you know what you're
ANVS.
looking for
IMRX.
is what's important.
SQ.
So let's practice.
C.
Let's take
C. UAL. SQ. SQ.
ANVS.
SQ. 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 UAL. SQ.
ANVS. ANVS. IMRX. DJT.
PAPL, Pineapple Financial, file for up to $10 million mixed shelf, Papa Alpha Papa Lima, PAPL. PGR, Progressive,
SCHW.
reporting September results, $3.97.
DJT. 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 DJT.
Take the numbers off of our chart. And this is how you're going to learn. You're going to go,
XLF.
you're going to look at a plain chart, and you're going to label them. So this candle broke the previous candle's low. So just do it like this and practice it. So this is a 2 down. The next candle broke the previous.
Drug. WBA. IMRX. 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 IMRX.
The estimate was $3.66 for Progressive, so that's a beat for PGR.
AAL. IMRX. DJT. RANI. IMRX.
Shares of Progressive PGR now at $253,
WBA.
up $2 off the earlier highs. Coming up at 8:30, the New York
DJT.
Empire State Manufacturing Index for October.
DJT.
3.4 is the consensus.
Wolf. 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 DJT. 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 MRM. BNZI. IMRX. Wolf. 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 BNZI.
Minus 11.9 versus plus 3.4 on the New York Empire State Manufacturing Index for October. FL Foot Locker announcing multi-year partnership with the Chicago Bulls.
IMRX.
Lima.
SIDU.
ADSE, ADS Tech Energy announcing a new CFO, Alpha Delta Sandy Echo. ACI,
Whoa.
Albertsons, reporting 25 cents. The estimate on Albertsons was 41 cents, so that's short for Alpha Charlie India. SIDU, Sidus Space. Sidus Space receives FCC approval for remote sensing
SIDU.
micro constellation license, expanding footprint in low Earth orbit. That is Sandy India Delta Uniform, SIDU.
SIDU. Yang. SIDU.
ATRO,
BNZI.
Astronics, David Burns
SIDU.
retires CFO on January 3rd, 2025.
IMRX.
Alpha Tango Romeo Oscar. YOSH Yoshiharu announcing strategic partnership with Chengdu Octay Entertainment Group for Sichuan Province, China. That is Yankee Oscar Sandy Hotel.
Book. Wool. Oil. SIDU. SIDU. IMRX. 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 SIDU. 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 SIDU.
SIDU, Sandy India Delta Uniform, site of space. Off the highs now, Sandy India Delta Uniform. Off of that FCC approval announcement. That's SIDU.
RANI.
RANI
SIDU.
Therapeutics pricing their $10 million offering at $3 per share. That's Romeo Alpha November India.
PHUN, SIDU. ANZN,
SIDU.
PHUN, PHUN, PHUN.
IMRX.
PHUN,
PHUN.
PHUN,
IMRX.
IMMX, PHUN, PHUN,
PHUN.
PHUN, 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 PHUN,
SIDU.
Lex,
SIDU. PHUN. SIDU.
Bank of America CEO on their conference call says we expect NII to grow in Q4. That's Bravo Alpha Charlie.
SIDU. MGTX. PHUN. RANI. RANI.
UPST. Octo.
Wool. PHUN.
MBOT, Microbot Medical, announcing successful completion of its pivotal human clinical trial, accelerates go-to-market strategy.
PHUN.
Commercial launch of Liberty during Q2 2025. That's Michael Bravo, Oscar Tango, MBOT.
PHUN. SIDU.
Microbot Medical, shares
MBOT.
hopping on that. LPSN, Live Person, Advanced AI and Analytics Tools for Contact Center and Beyond will debut on October 23rd. That is Lima Papa City, November. WBA, Walgreens CEO, says companies reevaluating its merchandising strategy in retail to offer new products, including its own brands. That's Whiskey Bravo Alpha, WBA.
Wool. PHUN. IMRX.
CPTA hitting 18 cents now at the high of
SIDU.
10 cents. That's
Wool.
the Zulu Papa Tango Alpha, CPTA.
SIDU. MBOT. Yang. MBOT. IMRX. BNZI. IMRX. 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 SIDU. SIDU. PHUN.
Great. That's the number of traders we have in our firm, S&P Capital.
PHUN.
Each netted more than 20 million.
IMRX. MBOT. IMRX. Sophie. MBOT. PHUN. Yang. DJT. SIDU. IMRX. 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 SIDU. SIDU. Wolf. 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 SLS. SLS. IMRX. Wolf. WBA. 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 RANI.
SLS announcing FDA rare pediatric disease designation to treat for the treatment of pediatric acute myeloid leukemia. That's Sandy Lima Sandy.
What's up, everyone? Well, what a wonderful way to start the week. We had a stock that squeezed up 100% in about 30 minutes. On breaking news, the news came out 8:30, bottom of the hour, and this thing took off. Ended up going from about $8 a share up to $16 a share. Right now, it's pulled back a little bit, right around 13, and I locked up about $13,000 trading it just in that first hour. And so today, stuck with the game plan that I shared with you yesterday, which was to get in, get green, get out, not overstay my welcome. Now, I will say that I got a little aggressive on this
RANI.
once it started to pull away. Once I had my cushion on the day, this is a moment where I made that sort of intuitive decision that this thing was pulling away. It was time to size up. So one of the things that you may know is that right now I started each day with a max of 5,000 shares until I'm up over $1,000. And I did that today. So I broke the ice today. First few trades on the day. Let's pull it up. So my P&L today, you'll see here, I'm sitting at approximately $14,458. 13,000 of it is from VERB, and then the other two stocks were the first two stocks I broke the ice on today, which is why it's always good to be able to get in here early, break the ice, because I was able to build a little bit of a cushion. And then when VERB came out at 8:30 with news, I was already fired up in good position to trade it. So with bigger share size. So first trade of the day. Let's go all the way back here. 7 a.m. It's actually 7 a.m. and 9 seconds. XPON. So XPON, this morning when I sat down, TVGN was the leading gapper, but I looked at it and I said, I don't think it's going to work because it's on the backside of yesterday's move or Friday's move. Had this squeeze on Friday and now we're on the backside. Now, I'll say that at the open, this thing ended up doing a nice red to green move. It ripped up and it did break through Friday's high. So I'm impressed. I didn't expect that. But nonetheless, pre-market, there was really nothing to trade on that. So that was our leading gapper. Our second leading gapper at that time was XPON, which is currently up about 50%, but earlier it was up a little bit higher. XPON also started the move after hours.
WBA.
But typically, I just don't expect an after hours move to carry over the weekend from Friday to Monday. Anyways, this one did. 4 a.m., it punches higher.
BNZI.
That nice squeeze up to 480. And as I was sitting down right here at about 7 a.m., I was sort of looking at it thinking, it's interesting, but is this thing gonna work? Is it gonna pull away?
BNZI.
This was what I noticed. I was like, well, look, it's a sub 1 million share float. It is holding up. So what I'm gonna do is at 7 a.m., I'm gonna watch for potential selling. Because what we know is that 7 a.m. is kind of the new open.
BAC, Bank of America CFO, says we expect NII to be at $14.3 billion or more for Q4 2024. That's Bravo Alpha Charlie.
BAC. SIDU. SIDU. SIDU.
WLDS, Wearable Devices, and Ranio collaborate on AR glasses. That's Whiskey Lima Delta Sandy.
WBA.
Whether that be for an academic essay or a pitch to a brand. For example, you can ask Grammarly to help you shorten your text, which is especially helpful when you're trying to condense long, wordy paragraphs to improve readability. This feature alone has honestly saved me so much time on my everyday tasks and in my overall writing workflow. As someone who uses multiple apps on the daily, it's also great that Grammarly AI follows me wherever I go and adapts to my workflow so that I can be more efficient and find exactly what I need. Make sure
MBOT.
to download Grammarly for free to start improving your
Wolf.
writing today.
Wolf. MBOT.
My heart is racing. It's a scene I've seen so many times.
SLS. SIDU.
It's me.
Wolf. IMRX. IMRX.
MRK, HHS says FDA will not begin procedures to withdraw approval of abbreviated NDA that referred to Noxafil. FDA has determined that Noxafil delayed release tablets, 100 grams, was not withdrawn from sale
IMRX.
for reasons of
IMRX.
safety or effectiveness. That's MRK.
Or Swim, Charles Schwab, E-Trade, Fidelity, a lot of these brokers, that's when they're able to start trading. Most of
Bank
these
of
retail
America
brokers,
CFO
commission-free
says don't
brokers,
expect much changes in headcount in Q4. 2024 Q4 expenses expected to be in line with Q4 2023. That's Bravo Alpha Charlie.
don't allow trading from 4 a.m. to 7 a.m. So they open at 7 a.m. Even though the market officially opens for pre-market at 4 a.m., they don't open until 7 a.m. So all of a sudden at 7 a.m., you'll have traders who are taking profit. And this is kind of funny because, for instance, you know how options only trade from 9:30 until 4 p.m. So you could be in an options position and the stock could be up huge pre-market and there's nothing you can do. You can't sell. Your options aren't even showing prices. There's nothing you can do until 9:30. And so similarly, if you're trading with one of these commission-free brokers, which have their advantages, no commissions, that's awesome.
PHUN.
But you're in a position and all of a sudden it's up.
Letter C, Citigroup CFO Mark Mason cites good progress on simplification and regulatory efforts with more work to be done.
DJT.
That on their media call.
A ton pre-market, there's nothing you can do until
GOOGL, Google and talks.
So
with,
sometimes what we see
Italy
is that stocks
over basis for
have
submarine network in Sicily. That's GOOGL, Golf Oscar Oscar Golf Lima.
Made a nice move pre-market when the move started the previous day, that you'll have people who held it overnight and at 7 a.m. are going to take profit. So I was looking out for that. I said that's a possible risk on XPON. But what ended up happening was right at 7 a.m., look right here, we get kind of this spike of volume right here, as you can see. And it dips down right here before 7 a.m. And then as soon as it starts
US
to pop
retail
up,
sales first week of October plus 5.6% versus October a year ago, plus 5.6% for the week ending October 12th versus a year ago. That's Redbook US retail sales.
IMRX.
SGD, Safe and Green Development, completes site work and receives permits to begin construction in South Texas. That's Sandy Gulf Delta, SGD.
Wolf. Wolf. MRM. MRM. MRM.
was waiting for selling. I didn't see any. I saw green on the tape, so I got in. 5,000 shares, punched it. That's my max size. I was in at 425, 427, so 426 average, and it pops up to 442. Boom. I take my 10 cents off the table. Well, I guess it was 9 cents. So that's $452.58 of profit. Nice. All right. Is that my $1,000 cushion on the day? No, not quite. Was it a really solid trade?
WBA.
No, not really. It ended up getting back down, but I took that quick base hit. Now, when I start the day at 0, which is every day since I'm day trading and I don't hold anything overnight, my first few trades, I'm quicker to take the profit off the table because you know, we've all had days
Wolf.
where,
C.
you know, we're green pre-market and then like up 20 cents and then it
FYDR.
flashes back down and you're break even or you're red. And so I really try on those first few trades to pay myself, build a little bit of a cushion, and maybe I sell too soon, but you know what? That's okay. There'll be more
Wolf.
opportunities. And if it keeps going and there are more opportunities, I just get back in. So XPON pops up, drops down, and I'm like, all right, well, that was a bummer.
Wolf.
So it ends up coming back up a little bit later, but I said, nah, I'm not going back in for that one. So I didn't take any additional trades on XPON. The next stock I traded was IVA.
Wolf.
And I didn't trade this until close to...
So this book called Six Figures from Scratch is designed to keep open while you trade. So
7:30. So IVA also had a pop at 4 a.m. However, on the 5-minute chart, I said, you know, this has a little bit of a problem. See if you can spot the problem on the 5-minute chart. Probably the most obvious problem is that you've got a bit of a topping tail here. So it spikes up on one candle
MGTX.
on light volume.
AAPU.
That's a problem. And then it sells on the next candle on heavy selling volume. So now I'm noticing this profile of high volume red candles. Something, and that's not great, right? High volume red candles. But coming here until like 7:20, it comes right up to VWAP. And so I was like, you know what? I mean, this thing's right at VWAP, so let's see what it wants to do. All right, so I got a couple trades on this one. So it squeezes up to VWAP,
SGD,
and first trade on this was
BNZI.
it pushes higher right here. We go up, we pull back. We go up, we pull back. I didn't take that pullback, but I did take this dip right here. So I got a dip right here, and that gave us a pop from about 345
MRVL.
up to about 360. 10 cents a share, you know, again, it's like $500-600. Drops down, comes down a little bit
BNZI.
lower, and on this
TWG.
one,
TWG.
SIDU. Drug.
TWG. 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 TWG.
Drug.
MBOT. TWG. MBOT.
MBOT.
TWG.
MBOT. Drug.
TWG. TWG.
Drug.
DHX.
PHUN.
SGD.
PHUN.
SGD. SGD.
SGD.
SGD. SGD.
SGD.
SGD. SGD.
SGD.
SGD.
DELL, Dell,
Dell.
introducing new
SGD.
scalable systems,
SGD.
server storage,
Dell.
and data management innovations to Dell AI Factory. That's Delta Echo Lima Lima, DELL.
SGD.
SGD. SGD.
SGD.
Dell.
AAPL,
Dell.
Apple introduces powerful new
Dell.
iPad mini built for Apple Intelligence. That's Alpha Alpha
Dell.
Papa Lima.
Dell. Dell.
Starts at
Dell.
$499. That's AAPL.
MRM.
SGD. SGD. SGD.
VINE, Fresh Vine Wine to
Dell.
remain in wine
Dell.
business.
Dell. TQQQ. SGD. SGD.
Announcing letter of intent for
SGD.
business combination
SGD.
with Adifex.
Dell.
That's VINE.
Dell.
SGD.
SGD.
Fresh Vine Wine to
SGD.
acquire 100% of Adifex membership interest.
Dell.
That's Victor
SGD.
India November Echo. AMPL, Amplitude acquires Command AI to make technology easier to use. Alpha Michael Papa Lima. HLIO, Helios Technology,
WBA.
provides update on
SGD.
efforts from Hurricane Milton.
SGD.
Did not have any reported
SGD.
injuries or loss of life from the hurricane.
SGD.
That's
MGTX.
HLIO, Hotel Lima India Oscar.
SGD. SGD.
SGD.
SEEL, Sealos Therapeutics, announcing notice of delisting from the NASDAQ and transfer to the OTC. That's San Diego Echo Lima.
Soho.
ANIX, Anixa Biosciences, announcing second dose administered to patient in ovarian cancer CAR T clinical trial. That's Alpha November India X-ray, ANIX.
SIDU.
Riley.
SGD.
GOOGL,
GME.
Google paired $45 billion product listings in Google Shopping graph with Gemini models.
SGD.
Google Shopping is rolling out in the US over the coming weeks, starting today.
MRVL.
That's
SGD.
GOOGL.
SGD. MRVL.
SGD.
RELX. GME. 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 SGD. GME. MRVL. GME.
Wolf.
IBIT.
GME.
GME. IBIT. GME. MRVL.
GME.
GME. GME.
SGD. SGD.
MGTX.
Wolf.
MGTX.
Wolf. RANI.
MGTX.
Let's see, where was my second trade? Oh, so
GME.
my
GME.
second trade on it was
SGD.
right
SGD.
down here.
SGD.
I bought this dip.
GME.
Just the way I sort
NTRP. GME. UAL. SGD. SGD.
SGD. SGD.
MRVL. MRVL. SGD. MGTX.
GME.
GME. MRVL. TWG. SGD. SGD.
SGD.
GMEX. TWG. TWG. AMC.
AMC. RANI. MBOT.
MRVL.
RANI.
MBOT. TQQQ. Coog. TQQQ. CSCO. QQQ. QQQ. TQQQ. TQQQ. PXLW. MRVL.
MGTX.
TQQQ. USB. MGTX. QQQ. TQQQ. MRVL. SGD.
SGD.
QQQ.
SGD. IMRX. MBOT.
CSCO. MGTX. USB.
MBOT.
TQQQ.
SIDU.
MBOT. DUOT. MBOT. LTRN.
MBOT.
LTRN.
SGD.
LTRN, Lantern Farmers Investigational Drug Candidate, LP 184, receives fast track
CSCO.
designation in glioblastoma from the FDA. That is Lima Tango Romeo November.
CSCO. QQQ. QQQ. TQQQ.
TQQQ. SGD.
TQQQ.
SGD.
GameStop announced collaboration with PSA, Golf Michael Echo.
TQQQ. QQQ. TQQQ. MSFT. TQQQ.
MRVL.
UAL.
SGD. SGD.
SGD.
SGD. SGD.
SGD. SGD. SGD.
SGD.
SGD. SGD. SGD.
SGD.
SGD. SGD. CLSK.
SGD.
Coog.
SGG,
CLSK.
SGD, Safe and Green Development.
SGD.
New highs now.
SGD.
SGD.
$21
SGD.
off of that press
KDLY.
release. That's Sandy Golf
MRVL.
Delta.
SGD. SGD.
SGD. KDLY. SGD. SGD. SGD.
SGD. SGD.
MSFT. MSFT.
SGD. SGD.
CLSK. MS. MS. GNFT.
TSLL. SGD.
SGD. SGD. SGD. SGD. SGD. GD. QQQ.
SGD.
MSFT. MSFT.
SGD.
TTEK,
SGD,
Tetra Tech awarded
MSFT.
$37.5 million USAID urban water
MSFT,
sanitation
MSFT.
and solid waste management services
MSFT,
contract. That's
MS.
Tango Tango Echo Kilo. J&J executives
SGD.
to see the impact of her
SGD. SGD.
days, especially in the areas
SGD.
most impacted by storms.
SGD.
CSCO.
That's J&J.
QQQ. MS. TQQQ. QQQ. FTCI. TQQQ. MS.
Wolf.
Duo.
BTBT.
MS. Duo. MS.
Duo. SGD.
QQQ. TQQQ. MSFT. QQQ. MSFT.
SGD. SGD.
MLCO.
Duo.
Duo. KDLY.
SGD.
Sort of bounced off VWAP. I thought we were going to set up for first 1 minute candle to make a new high. So I got in that dip with a good entry at about 39.40, right down there. It pops back up to 53, and then there was a seller on the level 2 on the ask. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to get out. So got out, was waiting then for the next setup, and then it just kind of didn't form and sort of petered out. So I was like, all right, well, hey, $992. So
I've been receiving checks from Char Swaps on a weekly basis. Let me show you.
Here are a few of the
basically, you know, two winners, nothing huge, but 2 winners. So I'm sitting up about 1,300 on the day with those 2 trades combined. So I take off my 5,000 share cap, and then I'm just sitting there. That was 7:30, and I'm sitting there for 7:30. No news came out at 7:30 that I liked. So then we come up to 8 a.m. There's nothing at 8 a.m. that I like. So then we come to 8:30, and initially at 8:30 there's nothing, and then all of a sudden VERB hits my scanner. Ding, ding, ding. This thing starts squeezing. Now, I knew VERB had just made a big move the other day. It was Friday. So I thought, and I'd actually already looked at the chart earlier today, but when I looked at it, I was like, well, that was a nice move, but kind of a head and shoulders, and now it's back down here. TWG, by the way, didn't take any trades on it today. It did pop up a little bit at the open, but had this ascending resistance line, which it came right into. So glad I had that drawn. I just didn't think it was worth it.
BAC.
VLY. CIFR.
Wolf. OKLO.
AMZN. AMZN. NRSN.
Bank of America
NRSN.
CFO says
NRSN.
no change in capital strategy in terms of share buybacks. It's on the conference call.
RANI.
United Health, ticker UNH, CEO speaking on their conference call says, expect upper end of the likely range of 2025 EPS forecast to be around $30 per share. Says timing mismatch of state rate actions do not yet reflect higher acuity of remaining consumers. Ticker UNH.
USB.
Wolf.
DIS.
SGD. SGD. RANI. 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 BNZI. Duo.
Mara.
Mara.
MGTX.
Verizon, ticker VZ, and Frontier Communications, ticker FYBR. Cooper Investors urges Frontier stockholders to vote against proposed transaction by Verizon. Says the $38.50 offer price by Verizon significantly undervalues
Riley.
Frontier. That is VZ and FYBR.
Wolf. 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 Duo.
ZJYL. CSCO.
SGD. RANI. RANI.
CIFR.
Blink Charging, ticker BLNK. Says strategic agreement with Stable Auto to optimize charging network and contributions to EV infrastructure. That's ticker BLNK.
RCAT. AAL.
AAL.
WIMI.
SGD.
Worth it.
Wolf.
Didn't do that 4 a.m. pop that I thought it might, so
Right.
really just didn't have a lot of strength today.
BTI.
Hershey,
So
ticker
no trades on that
HSY.
one. But anyways,
Company says
going
signs
back to
groundbreaking
Verb,
5-year agreement with cocoa cooperatives
Wolf.
to boost farmer
SGD.
income and farm resiliency. Ticker HSY. Hotel Sandy Yankee.
So all of a sudden,
SGD.
8:30, it starts squeezing, and I'm just like, "Whoa! All right, we've got some action." So
RANI.
as soon as it hit my scanner, I already knew what was
CIFR.
going on. I mean, I knew the stock had news because stocks don't start popping right at usually 8:30, bottom of the hour, if they don't have news. So it
BTI.
pops up right here,
CIFR.
and I got my first
CIFR.
entry
CIFR.
at
CIFR.
NRXP. CIFR.
CIFR.
RCAT.
SGD.
JPM. JPM.
IMRX.
8:57. I wanted to get in at 8:50
Mara.
for the break over the
SGD.
$0.50, but I got filled a little
Mara.
high at 57.
SGD.
But then it screams up. I add at 75, so now I've got
JPM.
65 average, and it goes
CSCO.
straight to $9. It goes up to 920. So I'm like, boom, it's like
SGD.
$1,300 of profit on that first trade.
SGD.
It dips down. It comes back.
CSCO. SLNH. RCAT.
Mara.
CSCO.
WBA. Wolf.
CSCO.
TSLA.
TSLA. CMG.
Wolf.
TSLT.
Wolf.
Less than
TSLT.
10 minutes to the U.S. markets open.
MGTX.
Wolf.
MGTX.
Wolf. WBA.
MGTX. TSLR.
IMRX.
IBIT.
Mara.
MGTX.
WBA. Wolf. Wolf.
TSLR. O.
Wolf.
TSLT. TSLT. MRVL. MRVL.
Back up, and as it comes back up here, I'm adding back for the break through the high,
TSLL.
920. We go up to 940.
TSLL.
We dip down. You know, so that's a small
TSLL.
winner, nothing crazy. Pushes higher again, and I kept
IMRX.
buying these breakouts. I did some dip trades on it as
CRZ,
well.
MS.
I was
IMRX.
mostly doing breakout trades.
IMRX.
And
MGTX. MRVL. MRVL.
MRVL.
we finally had this top at about 1040. And so as I
BTI.
traded this move right here, even just these first like 7 minutes, I was able to lock up about $3,500 of profit on the stock. So I got myself to up 5,000 total on the day. And I was like, hey, that's not bad. And biggest position through this move was
RCAT,
probably
TSLT.
7,500 shares. I didn't go super heavy. So I don't think I went higher than that. I might have, but not much higher. So anyway, so then we have this topping tail here, and on the 1 minute, I look at the chart and I'm thinking, well, two things. I'm thinking on the 5 minute, we're a little extended.
MRVL, MRVL, MRVL.
Wolf.
DXYZ.
SGD. SGD.
OBLG.
TSLT.
TSLL.
DJT.
CLSK. TSLT, CLSK.
SGD. IMRX.
TSLT, MGTX. NWS, MSTR.
APLD.
CLSK.
RANI. RANI.
CCCC. SCPX.
RANI.
Citigroup, ticker C. CFO speaking on the conference call.
CRVS.
CFO Mark Mason cites good
DXYZ.
progress on simplification and regulatory efforts with more work to be
BNZI.
done. Says bank is still hiring in risk and controls to ensure appropriate level of resources. Says consumer
QTL.
finances are broadly healthy and resilient, but more cautious
TAL.
around spending.
SGD.
Net credit losses and delinquencies
CLSK.
are largely as expected.
SGD.
Seeing some softness in all the retail spending categories. Expects sponsor
SGD.
activity to increase in equity capital markets over the next quarters. Expects net interest income to be roughly flat in Q4, excluding markets. Says bank reviewing agreements in retail card partnerships to ensure profitability. CFO says share buybacks will be considered quarterly
SGD.
given upcoming Basel revisions. That is Citigroup CFO speaking on the conference call.
You know, we
Wave.
sort of had this peak. Oh, actually, that hadn't happened yet.
SGD.
So we had, it was this
SGD.
candle right here.
MGTX.
SGD. SGD.
Wolf. Kerr. Ker.
DJT.
Spectral AI, ticker MDAI, Michael Delta Alpha India.
DJT.
Says Peter M. Carlson resigned as the CEO, has created Office of Chairman, according to
Wolf.
an SEC filing, ticker MDAI.
RANI. 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 RANI.
SDST. SDST.
SGD. SGD. Wolf. SGD. 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 Drug.
GNPX.
GNPX received Safety Review Committee approval to
ADS.
advance highest dose group in phase 1 portion of a Claim 3 clinical trial of Recorsa gene therapy in combination with Tencentric and extensive small cell lung cancer. That's Golf November Papa X-ray, GNPX.
ADS.
Volt. CUK.
CCL.
CUK.
AES.
SGD.
SGD.
U.S. markets are open.
SIDHUN.
MGTX.
IRNH. NCLH. ONQ. Billy. SNY. HBAN. IMRS. WBA. IMRS. WBA. NCLH. WDA. WDA.
SGD.
NASDAQ up 6.95. Dow Jones Industrial 2.18. S&P 500 up 3.0.
WBA, SGD, MRM, TIGR, INTC, TSLL, INTC, TSLT, SID, Wolf, SIDU,
J&J executive said monitoring any potential impact of additional short IV fluid.
Wolf, SIDU,
Electric procedures that
UAVS.
TSLL, LUMN, MRM, MRM, LUMN, CCL, CCL, MRGR, WBD, SNAP, NCLH, Wolf, INTC, ONQ, MRM, Wolf, TCL, INTC, Wolf,
WOLF full speed, another spike here.
RPEV,
TSLF, $15.76.
XPEV, XPEV, XPEV,
Wolf speed,
XPEV, CCL,
higher
CCL,
on that $750 million.
NCLH, CLH, ANVS,
US CHIPS
UAVS.
Act plus additional $750 million investment.
TIGR,
TIGR, that's Whiskey
UAVS.
Foxtrot shares up now
SDOW, NCLH, CCL,
about 4% on WOLF.
CCL, LUMN, NCLH, U, TSLL, UMRVL, Billy, LUMN, WBA, Kim, LUMN, LUMN, Billy, Wolf, U, WBA,
Wolf.
Coney, WBD, IMRX, GME, Sophie, LUMN, Sophie, Sophie, WBA, WVA, LUMN, TSLH, AAL, RUM, NCLH, BTC, Teva,
GS Goldman Sachs CEO David Solomon on Analyst Poll says sees significant pent-up demand from our clients. That's Dolph Sandy, GS. Says deal backlog lows.
MULN.
TZA, TSLL,
SGD.
Shares of Goldman Sachs pulling back after the open. Now
SGD.
$553 up 2%.
TSLT,
Market highs. That's Sandy.
TSLL, TSLT, TSLL, TSLL, Sophie, TSLL, Sophie, Wait,
IMRS.
Drug, TWG, GME, Coney,
IMRX.
GS Goldman Sachs CEO expects
the past at college, I've struggled with overusing the same words again and again in my essays. I do a lot of writing, and tools like Grammarly are essential. Grammarly is an AI writing partner that helps me efficiently craft quality writing across different platforms and save time. I've been using the free version of Grammarly since high school, but upgrading to Grammarly Premium for college-level workloads has been a game changer. From quickly identifying passive voice misuse, providing rewrites to ensure my writing is clearer, setting goals to make sure that my writing matches the right tone and formality, and suggesting new vocabulary to replace my overused words, Grammarly is a must for all students. All these premium